one is you.
Hello there, VatiWah here, and welcome to another episode of Follow from Mod Review Boobpocalypse, a mod review that takes in a wild adventure with a crazy plot to connect all the mods and episodes together. Rebi, my character, and her bodyguards are just listening to a handsome young man sing to them, and what the hell? What is he doing? What is he taking out of his pants? What is this white stuff that he's spraying all over my followers, all over my bodyguards? Oh man, that is so disgusting. You know what? For that, this guy right here must be punished. Craftable PeasantPult by DD Protections 83 is the perfect machine to get rid of some individuals that you do not like. The catapult can be crafted under the prefab section under wood, and naturally the catapult is made out of wood and it has a red color to it. Now I cannot tell if the red color is from a red paint or if it's just covered in blood. Now there are these what I assume to be counterweights, which means that this is not really a catapult, it's more like a trebuchet. A catapult uses like a tension in the wood as energy to fire projectiles, and then the trebuchet uses a counterweight and gravity. In this case, use the counterweight to launch the projectile. So yeah, it's more like a trebuchet. How it works is very simple. You just command a sailor or a follower onto the little spoon area of the catapult. Afterwards, you just activate the catapult and it's going to throw the victim into the sky. The distance the victim travel kind of depends on where he or she is standing on the catapult, and it also seems to slow down time for a short while, kind of like when you're taking jet in the game. So when you use the catapult, when you activate it, it slows down time and you can hear like, the slow yelling that they do. Now it doesn't seem to kill the victim unless you like shoot them off a cliff or something. So right here we have a problem. Rebi here has 20 followers, bodyguards, and slaves. She needs to find a way to retire some of them, just like in the Skyrim series. Now they don't really lag the game, there's not much of an issue. However, it is a pain in the butt to manage them all and keep track of them, and they're kind of releasing quite a bit of female pheromones, hormones, and whatnot, and it's kind of distracting. So we gotta find a way to retire some of them. Beastmaster Creature Companion Overhaul by Steelfeathers allows you to interact with creatures that you captured and tame. Now one of the main ways to capture a pet is by placing these cages right here, like what you normally do already. Now in this case it's going to be a Deathclaw cage, and for fun Rebi's going to be leaving Jessica and Evelyn right here and hope that they're going to enhance the trap with their female pheromones, kind of a sacrifice. I'm sorry ladies, good luck. Now the other thing is we need to craft these control chips at the chemistry station. Now the control chips, the regular ones, allows you to control non-hostile creatures, and right here we have the advanced control chip, and this is what we would use to control hostile creatures. After a few days there's gonna be a Deathclaw in the cage, and all you gotta do is you let it out, and right when it comes out you inject the advanced control chip into it. The mod allows you to name the pet that you captured, and I think a cute name is gonna go very well with the Deathclaw. There is a predetermined list. So let's see, we have Fluffy, Cupcake, Lulu, and a few others. Let's see, I think Fluffy seems good. Fluffy is a good name for a Deathclaw, right guys? Now I can also change and adjust Fluffy's combat style. I will make Fluffy attack any enemy in sight and fight to the death. Now if you have some paint, like a paint can with some paint in it, you can also give your pet a paint job if they have horns or armor plating. Ah yes, Fluffy is going to be so handsome and beautiful. He is going to be a stallion. He's going to get all the lady Deathclaws. Ah yeah. For your pet, there are some treats that can be crafted at the cooking station. The treats will give them some extra perks and it'll also make them like you more. Obviously, we want them to like us and be loyal to us. Now right here we have some mutating serum, which also gives your pet some extra damage. Fluffy here is going to be taking the serum, which makes him radioactive. However, every time you use it on your pet they will dislike you, and if that happens, if they dislike you enough, they're going to start to hate you, and there is a chance of your pet turning on you. Rebi's going to be using the rest of her slaves to attract some more creatures to these traps right here. Now we're going to wait a few days to see what we're going to catch. Now in the meantime, in addition, some creatures can also equip things like saddlebags, bandanas, and collars, and this will also make them happy. Now the pet also has a tracking device on them, just in case you misplace them, they can be turned on. They have a quest marker on top of them. Yes, we shall become the Beastmaster.
Beastmaster.
Rebi's bodyguards are pretty hot, especially with their hat. We're gonna need a matching outfit for it. Asuka Officer's Uniform by KoKoRoYaSaSiKiBoUZu introduces a very sexy uniform because a lady in uniform is very hot. The uniform can be found outside of Vault 111. It can be found on his body right here. The uniform has an officer's jacket, there is a very short schoolgirl skirt, and some yoga pants or tights underneath. Now the uniform has a bit of insignias and patches around, and I kind of wonder, is this what the uniform really looks like for the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, or is there even a female uniform for it, and what rank would it be? The entire outfit has a few accessories attached, and these accessories provide some additional attributes. There is a radio and Game Boy on the back, and it provides 1 perception and 1 intelligence. There is a dagger which provides 1 agility. Now the sword around her waist is for decoration only, and it provides 1 strength. And finally, the belt, the pouches, provides you with 800 additional carrying weight. There is also a sword called the Mirosama Blade, which has some inscriptions written on it. Now, I'm not quite sure what it says, and when the sword is swung, it catches on fire. So it kind of has a similar effect as the shish kebab sword. Now the uniform is not skimpy, but at the same time it's rather cute, adorable, and slightly sexy. As I mentioned before, a woman in uniform is hot. Anyways, I think Rebi should start flying around in her UFO again just to try to find something interesting. And it looks like the Commonwealth is rather green up here. That's kind of cool. Grassy LOD by Frog Princess Q4 is a mod that adds a green color to the distant land so it looks prettier. Now the mod is meant to be used with other mod that changes the vegetation of the Commonwealth. Now at the moment I'm using the Grasslands mod, which adds green grass to my Fallout. I was gonna say Skyrim, but I said Fallout, haha. And it goes very well with the Grassy LOD. Here are some before and after pictures. At a certain distance away from the player, certain things stop rendering and does not show up on your screen. The game only loads the bare minimum, and sometimes the bare minimum is kind of ugly or it doesn't match with what mods that you have installed. Now I have this green grass on my screen, and eventually the green grass will stop rendering. Grassy LOD changes the ground so it's green instead of a light brown color, so it kind of blends and it kind of matches with my green grass a little bit more. Now the mod is meant to change and enhance the level of immersion from the environment, and it's rather relaxing looking at all these greenery right here. Nature has taken over again. Maybe there's something to find in the ocean. Rebi hasn't really explored or flown over this area yet. There might be something in the water. Wait, like that submarine over there. Dauntless by CyberMoses is one of the coolest and one of the most immersive player homes in all the 7 seas. The Dauntless can be found by going to Fort Strong and then taking this little boat out to sea. The boat is going to arrive on this floating pontoon looking thing, and it is a small camp floating in the middle of the water, and right next to it is the SSBN Dauntless. Now the reason why the Dauntless is really cool is because the interior of the submarine is kind of scaled to what you see on the outside. Now the tubes that you see on top is where the ballistic missiles are launched from, although it doesn't really look very streamlined. It's kind of bulky, especially at the front. The interior of the submarine can be accessed through the conning tower, and the opening is at the very top, and we're going to take a quick tour of the inside. Now the first room is the command room, the control center. It has all the sonar, communications, navigation controls, and fire control. And in the back of the submarine there's a surgery area and bathroom. Now if you interact with the surgery area, it opens up the slow look menu to change your appearance if you wish. And behind this other door is another area. This is a workshop area, and it also contains the tubes which contains the ballistic missiles. Further back is the crew quarters and shower area, and yep, we all know the safest place for the crew is near the nuclear missiles. Now on the other side of the ship there's the captain's quarters. The captain must have his own room and privacy, his own room and office, because he needs a place to bring the hookers to, right? Now there is another toilet, maybe a private toilet for the commander, for the captain, and right here is a door to the engine room which is not available yet, is inaccessible. Back in the control room there is a way to get to the lower deck, and it's through this hatch right here. And right here we have the cafeteria, the mess hall, and this is where all the seamen drink and eat. And nearby there is a door that leads into the diving room, and as you notice the entire submarine is kind of separated into compartments, and this is just in case there's flooding. So right here we have another work area, a workstation, and this time it's in the propeller shaft area. The nuclear reactor right here cannot be entered yet. There's a hatch, but we cannot really interact with it. The propeller shaft is quite long. It's probably like half the length of the submarine. And now at the front here are the tubes for the ballistic missiles, and as well as an armory and a gym. So it's a very good idea to have guns in the same room that houses nuclear missiles. Very good idea, guys. At the very front is the torpedo room. There are 4 tubes, so it has 4 torpedoes ready to be used. And back in the command room there is a navigation console, and you can use it to move the submarine to another location. So let's see, where should we go? The Dauntless should maybe go to Far Harbor. Yeah, let's head there right now. Yep. It's kind of foggy right here. It's definitely Far Harbor. I don't really like the fog. Let's go to another location. Let's go to Salem this time. There we go. Now this is a lot better. Yeah, I really never really like the fogginess of Far Harbor, so I think this is a much more better location. And great. It seems Rebi has gotten her boots all wet with seawater. Oh no. Okay, it looks like we gotta take it off. Here we go. We gotta make sure the uniform doesn't get wet with seawater. We don't want it to get ruined as well. Wait a second. Rebi's footsteps are a little bit different. They sound different. Barefoot Footsteps by GrozaTerroristow changes how your footsteps sounds when you're barefoot and walking on solid ground. So right here is what it sounds like in vanilla when you're not wearing any shoes. And here is what your footsteps sounds like with the Barefoot mod. Now it sounds like someone is getting slapped, a sound of skin smacking on a hard surface. This simple mod is supposed to make it so it's kind of similar to how it was and how it sounded in Skyrim. And it kind of sounds like the sound that I would make when I jack off or fap, fap, guys. In the submarine, there is a diving room, however, there are no diving suits. Rebi wants to have one just in case there's an emergency. Tumbajamba Spartan Battle Suit by Tumbajamba, as real what the fuck, is a very bulky and tanky power armor that looks very unique, and it seems like it could take like the pressure of the ocean. Now the power armor parts can be crafted at either the Armorsmith workbench or the advanced engineering workbench, depending on what other mods that you have. Now there is a visor which can be worn and it goes over the top part of your face, and this is where all the optics and information will be displayed. The power armor kind of reminds me of a Protectron, especially the top part of it. There is a clear screen where you can see your own character through it. And the interesting thing is most power armor has 5 parts to it. However, this one only kind of have 4. It's missing a helmet. However, technically the visor would kind of substitute for the helmet. And from a tactical standpoint, there are some advantages and disadvantages. There is no longer a joint between the torso and helmet. Now it's kind of like one piece, so there's no weak spot. However, the user cannot really turn their head left and right, so it kind of limits your field of vision. The power armor has various other paint jobs and modifications like the black military one. So what is long, hard, and full of semen? Let me know in the comment section below. Now anyways, I think this is a good place to stop. If you enjoyed this video, I want to make sure that you bang the like and subscribe button, bang it good. Follow me on Twitter where you might see some previews of mod reviews that I work on. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to donate and help keep the series going. If I get enough donations, I might like start uploading uncensored videos elsewhere, or maybe have like some private movie time streaming with donators, so we can have a nice romantic date. Well then, stay sexy my friends, stay sexy. It's very obvious, but I am going to be surrounding myself with female bikini bodyguards. You can hate me all you want, you can call me names, but VatiWah is gonna bacon right now. Oh man, look at the bacon's right in front of her right now. Well anyways, let's continue on. I'm